Oh. Welcome to another show with Around the Garden with Jimmy K. So we have a beautiful 2 steps of 2 different driveways, and what we're going to do is we're going to incorporate some bushes and maybe some trees later on down the line. But we got all kinds of different shapes and sizes. We got the gold cone emerald arborvitaes. We got the knockout roses that we're going to incorporate. We're also going to incorporate some small little rhododendrons that will kind of give you some color. But if you blend all these together, and then you got another one, which is a juniper, and it's a blue rug juniper, and it will stay kind of small, but it will spread out. Well, we're going to go around, place these, and we're actually going to make this look so good. So let's go ahead and start bringing them over, because this is going to be so fun. Tell you, the row right here is going to be all kinds of different colors of plantings. And look at, if you look at the different shapes and sizes of the actual bushes and shrubs, I think this is going to be really, really nice. Well, let's get in our hands dirty and plant these. Let's get it done. So it's unbelievable, and we are deep in the middle of the springtime right now. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to go around, and this is free money, basically in your yard or someone else's yard. We're digging out a hosta right now, then we're going to go over to the irises, and then we're going to go over to the dailies. I'm going to take this hosta right here, which is a perennial, not an annual, a perennial, which comes up every single year, and we're going to dig it out, and we're going to split it times 3. Okay, so this is basically so if you look and see that you've got at least a minimum of 3 plants that you can split up in here. These are hostas. Let's go over to the irises, and then what we're going to do is we're going to plant them in a different part of the garden. These here are irises, and these were planted like a couple of years ago. And these actually came out really, really kind of good, and it was easy. So this is another perennial, and if you look, you could easily, well, on this one here, probably get 2 plants out of it. Get 2 plants out of it, better than 1 plant. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to split up the crowns, put one right here, put one over there. I think it's going to look amazing. So that's more plants for free. This one here is another perennial. This one's going to be a little bit more tougher to kind of get out, but what you're going to do is you're going to try your hardest. So this one here is filled to the brim, and I believe that this one here is the one that's a rebloomer, and it's yellow, and it's a perennial. Now look at this. Minus the weed, you ain't going anywhere. Look at this. You could easily get, and if you look close enough, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 plants out of this for free. So we're going to incorporate this all over the garden. So what we did was we probably got at least 10 or a dozen of different perennials that'll come up every single year. And the difference between a perennial and an annual is a perennial comes up every single year, usually blooms to 3 to 4 to 5 weeks all throughout the whole season, and annual blooms all summer long, and it gives you color. So I've got so many perennials that I dug up, and if you look, there's probably at least 10 or 15 perennials, hostas, irises, you name it. Some of them I've transplanted from other parts of the garden. Some of them have been given to me. I've got some remarkable, colorful daylilies that will be coming up in the summer. The hostas are blue, some are white, some are green. It's fabulous, the color. So one thing I'm going to say, that you can do anything in the garden. It's a beautiful, beautiful day here in Boston, but you know, if you love gardening or if you like color, you know, and some natural things, get out there in the garden. We're going to take a little break from this garden right here. We can get back to this later on in the afternoon. But I want to show you some beautiful, beautiful color that I've seen, maybe even you've seen on the sides of the roads and in people's houses. Trees and shrubs that are in magnificent bloom right now that look so remarkable. I hope you enjoy and see the color out there because it's breathtaking. Stay tuned, and I'm going to be jumping in the truck. I'm going to go around and show you some remarkable trees and shrubs. Let's get out there and take a little break from this and see what's really out there. I was out here today, unbelievable, magnificent day out here filming trees and stuff, and I stumbled across Devin. Devin, unbelievable. Welcome to the show. Well, I'm going to tell you, Devin, tell me a little bit about yourself and what you actually do, because you cut down a lot of trees today. And one thing about trees is this time of year is you want to prune them. Tell them about yourself.
Well, I've been climbing for about 20 years now. I work in the Boston area. You can get me Above and Beyond Devin Young, Above and Beyond Tree Care, but I've been working in the Boston area, everywhere from, we'll say, Cape Cod to New Hampshire. And I do free climbing, which I can get into most places, as you see over here. You're not going to be able to get a bucket truck in there.
So Devin, I'm going to jump in here, because a lot of people out there ask, when is the best time to prune, and why do people prune trees and shrubs, and what are you trying to get on an angle on an actual tree?
What I try to do with a tree is I remember the 10 o'clock and 2 o'clock. Just like you're looking at a clock. When it gets to be 3 and 9, it needs weight reduction. So you got to take a couple branches off. When it's hanging down too low, stresses out the tree, you got to remove it. Right now is the best time to do it because we don't have the leaves. We can see the leaners and branches, and basically everything that needs to be shaped or could be structurally or dangerous, and we take it from there, whether it has to be removed or pruned.
Now, you told me earlier when I met you in the backyard that there was a lot of tree damage during the snow in early spring, and a lot of the trees were over people's yards, they were over their roofs, and you did a lot of that during those months as well, right?
This winter was crazy because we had all these heavy wet rainstorms. We had flooding. A lot of the trees were they were flipping over. The root comes out, it basically falls over. So it's a lot of cleanup. Or if they're too weighted, the structure will break, and you have a broken off branch on a tree. It could be on a car, a house, anything. So we've been dealing with that. We got the big chipper with the 20-pound winch.
So there's the exciting part. So once again, how can they reach out to you?
Above and Beyond Tree Care.
And this is what I've been waiting for. I always wanted to do this. I can't do it for safety reasons, but we're going to watch Devin make a little noise, a lot of noise, and get this waste into small little pieces. Let's get it done.
Cleaning we did earlier.
Well, this whole big giant pile right here will be nothing but probably a little pile of like dirt. And these can be used for wood chips and stuff like that in the garden. So he's firing it up big time. And it's all going to go through this chute into the dump truck. And it could be part of your garden next year. So let's see how this gets done. Here we go. Go ahead, Devin. You guys got it.
unbelievable. And what's amazing is this big pile of mess, you make it into like a handful of stuff, and it can be used in the garden. Well, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure meeting you, and good luck. All right, he's got work. I got to go out there and do more work. Let's go.